next thing I know, someone grabbed me by the belt loop and pulls me backwards, like hard, like strong. And I was like, it was like 3 feet of stairs or something right there. And I grabbed on like the dinette and the couch and I stopped it and I smashed the hand loose, backed up, like cocked up, ready to go. It was a cop. And I was like, at that point, I was wasted. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to get him.
Check out our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Ellis, mate. Fuck yeah, let's talk to Fletcher.
Were you born and raised in Hermosa Beach? Because now that I live here, I feel like you guys...
You feel like a transplant?
What do you mean a transplant?
That's what we call outsiders that come in here and buy houses.
Well, I'm a transplant as in from... See, I've transplanted so many times that the word has lost its juice.
Australians don't really count as transplants. Like people from like New Jersey, like the Guidos with the really tight, the type.
Is that not a mean thing to put on somebody who... I know I have friends from Jersey. It is cold. I don't want to say it's miserable, but it looks miserable there sometimes. And for them to stumble upon California, which is reverse miserable, like at the beach where you guys live, Hermosa Beach, it's a beautiful place.
You live here too.
But that's why I live here, because it's beautiful. I wasn't born here.
So is it okay for people from New Jersey to come here since they've suffered so long?
Yeah, can you blame them? Like if you lived there and you were like, man,
no.
I see TV shows where people are in the sun a lot. It looks fun.
Absolutely not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of friends in New Jersey, New York, East Coast, the good people.
Have you ever lived there?
No. I would love to live in New York.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Or at least have an apartment there or something. Right?
Why? What would you do?
I like the vibe. Go to some hardcore shows, eat some pizza, hang out with Jimmy Gestapo.
You would get drunk a lot and roam the streets.
Probably.
I can see you
ruling. I pretty
ruling.
much get drunk a lot and roam the streets anywhere I go.
Right, and you could rule there. I feel like people would be, because I feel like there's a certain amount of toughness where, unless you run across somebody who's just straight up looking to rob everybody. But I always found like I look sketchy, so sketchy people are like,
stay away.
You're all right.
You get respect. You get the nod.
And you are sketchy as you can.
New York's pretty tough though. I mean, I'd say it's the hardest, city. As far as like punk rock scene and shit, those guys are all pretty hardcore.
When you say punk rock guys are hardcore as opposed to punk rock guys on the West Side,
absolutely.
Is that because I've always got confused with punk music. I've said I don't like punk music. I don't like punk rock because I don't like. I'm not going to say anybody, but I don't like popular punk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you say I almost get it confused these days when someone says, is with a Misfits punk. And it's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I like that punk.
Yeah.
But
New Jersey.
But then there's some right. So, but is there no California comparison? Is there not a punk?
No, I mean it's just like California punk rock is more like a little bit laid back, like surfer skater or anti-surfer skater, but like just a more beach vibe. And like New York hardcore is a little bit more edgy, a little more in your face, in the streets type of punk rock.
Do you think it's because of the weather? Seriously,
because it's cold and hot.
It's miserable.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think New York's just it's a tougher city to grow up.
Yeah, because it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold, but it's also kind of gangster and kind of
we don't have gangsters.
Rugged. Yeah, but I mean, we're not. You don't see gangsters in Hermosa really. I mean, you do, but we're not living in Compton. Like New York's kind of a melting pot, right? So you got it going on all around you. It's just New York's always been tough attitude, guys. Always like before there was even punk rock, right?
How come we don't have trains and they do?
You had a train that was right there.
Why don't let me
The
rephrase that
Greenbelt was
question?
a train track.
Let me
before you
rephrase that
got
question.
here.
Why do we not like trains and they do?
I don't know, because they've been there forever.
Some from Melbourne, Australia, and
trains are good.
Yeah, like
We built the Blue Line here, and it's a joke. You'll never even find it.
Yeah, is that the underground thing?
Well, it's underground and above ground.
That one.
Terrible.
I feel like because of the little, I feel like California is more scared to get in there because there will be stops where it's gonna get
Sketchy.
grimy.
I went to Rage Against the Machine. I only rode the Blue Line once. Rage Against the Machine, downtown LA, like protest against the Democratic National Convention.
And the train made it its full destination with you in it.
Gangster. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Gangster. Getting back was sketchy. Get a couple hood stops, a couple boys on the platforms waiting. So, yeah, it's definitely.
I've been on a train in New York where I just like was high and I just kept letting it go, and I was like, man, I probably should have got off.
Yeah, it can get gnarly on the subway.
I felt intimidated for sure.
Yeah,
nobody was even vibing me, but I just felt intimidated.
It's just a different vibe back there. But like back to answer your question, like so we like back in the day, like it was probably about 15 years ago. These East Coasters, the bad kind of East Coasters, started coming out here, and they like built a web page showing their friends what was going on out here and how rad it was and like how awesome Hermosa Beach was. So all these people started coming in droves, and not the good ones. Like I want to reiterate that, the bad kind of East Coast. And it got inundated. Like if you would have been here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have known everybody on the streets immediately. Like within like a month, you would have been seeing people every day that you ran into that you knew. And
if I went surfing, would I get punched in the face?
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Depends on where you surfed. Breakwall, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's localized, but it's not that bad. Palos Verdes, you don't go up there and surf unless you know somebody. But yeah, it's turned into a city of strangers. And like, I built restaurants here when I was a kid. Like I built a lot of this shit.
So you were born and raised here?
I was born and raised. I was born up the street, right up the street on 190th, like Redondo, Burl and Prospect. There's a hospital over there, or was. Yeah. Born there, did some time in Manhattan Beach. That's where my parents originally lived.
It's down the street.
Yeah, like right next door. It's the South Bay, Hermosa, Manhattan, Redondo, right? And then moved to another location in Manhattan that was right on the border of Manhattan and Hermosa. So started spending, like when I was 5, started spending a lot of time in Hermosa, and then basically left home when I was like 16, and then just started bouncing around wherever the cops weren't chasing me. And
around South Bay, though?
Yeah. Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo, but I mainly stayed in Hermosa and then bought a house in Hermosa like 23 years ago.
And are all the other guys born and raised around here?
Byron, yes. Jim, yes. Randy was like a Long Beach kid. Jason, our original bass player, was Hermosa. So Jimmy and everybody was right here within a mile of each other.
And when you started, you ruled this area, right? Was this the first thing where everybody here knew Pennywise and not the rest of the world yet? Like, did you make it?
Yeah, I mean, ruled like, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, all these bands, Descendants. We grew up on them, going to parties at the beach, Iron Man, whatever, backyard parties. And when we started Pennywise, our thing was like 4th of July parties. We'd do every 4th of July.
At someone's house, you always knew you got a gig.
Random house. Like a lot of times I'd just roll up and be like, hey, what are you guys doing 4th of July down on the Strand or Walk Street? I'll buy a keg, let us play. They'd have no idea. What do you guys do? Just cover songs? No idea what was coming.
You wouldn't tell them?
Fuck no. And there'd be like, all of a sudden there'd be 600 maniacs, shirtless, drunk, and they'd just come
in their house?
Well, on the
their backyard.
Patio,
sorry.
Yeah, Strand. So we did that for years, and it kind of put us
for years. You got away with telling somebody, "I'm going to use your house," and they don't know you're Pennywise.
Yeah, I would literally. I mean, we didn't even have a record out. We were just like, we were nobody.
But were you you had originals though, right?
Yeah.
You're old,
yeah,
right.
Of course. But we didn't. We had like a single out that our friend put out on Theologian Records, and we made 500 of them. So like these guys would be sitting in their front yard partying, like, hey, got a outlet and got a fucking need to drink some beer. I'll bring 2 kegs and give me a plug and we'll rock out. And they'd be like, okay, let's do it. Just randoms. And then they'd be like, please stop, 10 minutes into the fucking set. And the cops, now it's like, I still try to do it, but the band is kind of difficult on that one. But I was the guy, I'd like move all the gear, find the place, buy the beer, set it all up. All they had to do was like show up, ride their bikes up drunk, get off their bike and play. And you can find some pretty awesome footage of that shit going on around here. But
it's weird it's not weird for me, but it's weird to know that if you come up with that idea and everybody lives around here, that they don't want to join you.
Well, no, they do, but like
they're busy.
It's just
you do throw them being parents on them like they've made a huge mistake. Parents, and I do know from some musicians I've heard that having a kid is almost like disrespectful to the band. And I know that you don't think that at all in your mind. You don't have a little bit of resentment.
I love kids. I mean, they get in the fucking way of touring and shit, right? But no, I'm not resentful. I like them.
Okay, I'm not saying you don't like the kids. I'm saying them for having kids.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, I got my niece. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty old now, but my chick's pretty young, so we can still pull it off.
You could.
We're talking about it.
But you are. Okay. Yeah.
It's on the back burner.
So everybody else in the band, when you do that, they're gonna really hope that it's a difficult time for you.
They're gonna get pickpocketed. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. As soon as that kid can walk, it's stealing their wallets.
And then how will it feel when they say, "Hey, we've got a gig," and you go, "Man, I would love to make it, but I can't."
Well, Byron's got one kid.
Yeah.
Jim had 3. Randy has 4.
Dang.
And Byron's like, I have to pick my kid up. I have school. I have soccer practice. Like his one kid is equal to like 12.
Is he a single dad?
No, he's got his wife, Lori. But he just like, if Byron had 4 kids, it would be over. He couldn't handle 4 kids.
He's very hands-on. It sounds good for him.
But yeah, it's no, I back it. But the 4th of July thing would be like, Jim would show up Friday on UTEBs and a bunch of dudes like fighting in the street waiting for us to play. He'd be like, I'm out of here. But I think that happened one time. But it was always good. So we got our like name on our map. The map. We always just played backyard parties, and eventually when we made it to like Hollywood to play a show, we had 150 people. We're like a no-name band, like playing Madame Wong's or something, and 150 people show up and go crazy and beat the shit out of the security guards.
What is your deal with violence in the band? What is everybody? Was there a bunch of people in Hermosa that just punched each other in the face? Are they punching each other in the face?
Yeah, no, of course. Our friends.
So people from South Bay all come and then punch each other in the face.
Sometimes, yeah.
And the security.
Oh, security. Well, security tries to break up the friends from punching each other in the face.
And then
they become a victim of the other.
Is this your fault?
No, absolutely not.
Are these your friends?
Hermosa Beach was just an aggressive town. Like there's all these little circles. Everyone's in it together, but there's all these little circles, right? And little circles fight. And I don't know, surf skate, punk rock's already violent. So you start a mosh, a fucking pit breaks out, and then somebody hits you the wrong way, and then you push that guy, and then his friend jumps you, and then, punk rock shows back in those days were violent. And we had a massive reputation for super violent shows. And we got banned from a lot of clubs. We're banned from the Troubadour, banned from the Whiskey, banned from.
When did that slow down?
Getting banned?
Or no, people punching each other at your shows.
I don't know. It still happens, but like you get older, like a lot of our hardcore friends that like, were like 15, 16, 17, 20 going to shows. They went to prison or they grew up or they got married and they got turned 40 and they don't want to fight anymore.
Went to prison.
Oh, a lot of our friends went to prison.
I'm just trying to figure out
how do you go to prison in this paradise?
Dude, right? South Bay, because South Bay reminds me. This is why I live here because this is as close as you can get.
Family structure.
This is as close as you can get to where I grew up. Like there was a sketchy part of town that I grew up a little bit when I was real little. I don't remember it when things were bad, but then when things got better, my dad moved to where his new wife was from, her family, and that's Sandringham. It's by the water. There's a pretty laid back family vibe there. And it was for me to be the way I was the odd one out. Like I didn't know anybody that was really angry. I guess there was a few little gangs when I was real little, but they were just not
dirt clod fights.
Convincingly tough. Like I was like, you're not beating up anybody, you guys. Mm-hmm. And here, there's just this crazy element of really frustrated youth to the point where they're just smashing each other all the time.
A lot of rich kids that like.
So they're angry because
they get love at home. Like their mom and dad are gone. They're like latchkey kids. They come home and they got fucking free reign. They got cereal.
There it is.
And mom's booze and the Valiums. And I mean, there is like a faction of like real gangsters around here, you know, like NSR 13 and Lawndale 13. And, you know, there's
still?
Yeah, well, fuck yeah.
We here at the Jason Ellis Show are stoked to tell you about Athletic Greens. If you're trying to turn your life around, make some healthy decisions, there's a lot of landmines. Sometimes stuff looks healthy, it seems healthy, but it's full of sugar and a whole bunch of crap. That's not going to do anything but bloat you out. Athletic Greens couldn't be easier to get a whole bunch of nutrients, vitamins. You just scoop it out, add water, boom. You did a very, very healthy thing today.
It doesn't taste
proud of
bad.
you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, this is a life hack. Something that you can drink in the morning that tastes good, that actually helps improve your overall well-being. One tasty scoop of AG1 contains 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients, including a multivitamin, multi-mineral, probiotic, green superfood blend, and more in one convenient daily serving. The special blend of high-quality, bioavailable ingredients and a scoop of AG1 work together to fill the nutritional gaps in your diet, support energy and focus, and aid with gut health and digestion, and support a healthy immune system, effectively replacing multiple products or pills with one healthy, delicious drink. To make it easy for you to get on board, Athletic Greens is going to give you an immune-supporting free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase if you visit athleticgreens.com/JES. Make note of that promo code JES. Again, simply visit athleticgreens.com/JES.
Debt sucks. Not a very controversial statement. It sucks. If you're in debt, if you have credit card debt, if they just keep piling on and gaining interest, it feels like you're buried. It feels like you're drowning. And it seems like there might not be a way out. But we've got good news for you. Upstart has your back, friends.
Upstart-powered personal loans can help you pay down high-interest debt. They've helped over 1.8 million customers on their path to financial freedom. Upstart knows you're more than just your credit score. That's why they look at other factors like income, employment, and other information provided in your loan application to find a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate in minutes for loans between $1,000 and $50,000.
Don't wait and check your rate today at upstart.com/Ellis. That's upstart.com/Ellis to check out your rate today. Don't forget to use the URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit income and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/Ellis.
Right up the street. Like,
I hope they don't see me, an old pink fucking pillar around on my e-bike. They're going to kill me.
No, they don't fuck with people like you.
Okay.
They're like, they got their own deal.
Okay, good.
They're all infighting. So there'd be like some gangster fights, you know, some pretty substantial gang fights at our shows. We got a lot of gangsters that are into the wise.
And then, so you've always been like, when I met you on tour, Big Day Out, I think it was, or something like that. And, everybody else seemed to, like, I know Byron partied, but I guess he was not it seemed like you were always kind of breaking some shit. Mm-hmm. And it felt like not all the time was it on purpose. I feel like you were just bigger, and when you were drunk and you fell over or pushed somebody, then it was a little bit more of a carnage.
You don't know your own strength. Like,
right.
You know, roughhousing for me, somebody gets a bloody nose. I'm
right.
Like, oh shit, I didn't mean to. Well, fuck.
I could see that. Every time you did it, I could see that it wasn't malicious. It was more of a funny thing to do.
I'm not like, I mean, I can be violent by nature if I need to be or whatever, if you cross the line, but for the most part, I just play rough, and then people get hurt.
I agree.
Trouble.
Yeah, some people get angry about them getting hurt by you.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're hurting them in a funny way.
So I call it the sandbox. Like, some people don't want to play in the sandbox. There's people like Byron who, well, we've gotten into it like physically one time, but it's pretty funny. But like, I'm not going to touch.
Only one time.
Yeah,
surprising.
He attacked me. Well,
because you were so annoying.
We've actually got more than one time, but like not where like more like shit gets broken.
Yeah, but he was physically coming after you.
He came after me one time and attacked me in the airport. It was pretty fun.
In the airport?
We were with the Offspring. We played World Extreme Snowboarding in Alaska. He was wasted on the plane coming home, and he was just talking shit. And I was sober. I was fucking hungover and sober, and Offspring's there, and it was before Offspring got big. They were opening for us, and their parents were picking them up at the airport.
What?
We're in the carousel area, like Alaska Airlines, and Byron just came running up and fucking pushed me from behind, and I was giving my ex, long time ago girlfriend a hug, and she was like 5'4", and I just smashed her in the face and then fell over on her, but I like assumed the push-up position.
Yeah.
So I didn't crush her, which she was like 104 pounds. I would killed her. I got up and I was like, motherfucker. Snap.
Was he joking when he pushed you?
No, he was wasted trying to. And so he came at me and he just got his teeth fixed. And I was like, I can't hit him in the mouth because there's like 20 grand there. I was like, and he finally got paid, some money and got his teeth fixed, which is awesome. I got mine fixed too at some point. But I picked him up and just body slammed him onto the conveyor belt. And he came at me again, and it was like I had restraint, but he didn't.
I feel like you're leaving out a part of the story where he was so enraged that he pushed you into your girlfriend.
Yeah, there was no physical contact before that, and I didn't see it coming. It was just arguing over him being a bitch on the plane. I think,
right.
It's just dumb.
You were tormenting.
The Offspring parents were like, "Oh my God, who are these guys?" Because it was like a fucking WWE match in front of like 400 people at the carousel. It was pretty awesome. And he said sorry later. I'm like, I wouldn't even been mad if he pushed me. It's just that he crushed my chick at the time.
Have you fought anybody else in the band?
Me and Randy have got into it, but not really fought. We have, I sprayed like Gooby Gone in his mouth once. I got him pretty mad. He throws shit at me.
Gooby Gone?
Yeah, that shit you get. Like
shoe goo.
Glue. The stuff you get off the shit off your shoes.
You put glue in his mouth.
Squirted it in there, kind of accidentally on the bus. He didn't like that, but he's a fighter. He's a good fighter. Me and Randy got in a fight with like 7 dudes on a motorhome that one time.
Wait, what are you saying that one time? Like I was there. I wasn't there for that.
No, I don't know. You probably heard about it.
No, go for it.
A band called Alisana on the Warped Tour.
A band?
Yeah, Warped Tour.
Your band and another band.
We got on their motorhome last night of the Warped Tour for us, and
all 4 of you?
No, just me and Randy.
Oh, that's enough.
I might have known it wasn't. We were looking for the Reverend, this one guy that was on the Warped Tour, Rev.
To do what?
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
We were leaving the Warped Tour that night. We were wasted coming home from bar, so we were like, "Hey, let's go say goodbye to the Rev." And there was a bunch of these things called bandwagons that look the same, right? They're like, they're like designed for touring shit, right?
And you're finding this guy.
Open the door, get in there. Randy goes, "Dude, this isn't his motorhome." And I'm all, "Yeah, it is." He goes, "No, this is not his," because Randy had been on it. And I'm like, we'll just wait for him to come back. And right then, the tour manager for the band whose motorhome it was, we had no idea whose motorhome. What the fuck are you doing in here? And just started like getting crazy. And I was like, "Chill, dude. We're just looking for the Rev. This isn't the Rev's fucking, motorhome. Get the fuck out." And I didn't like his attitude, so I'm like, "Yeah, I'll split after I make a sandwich real quick." And there was like some Wonder Bread and shit. Yeah. So he stormed out of there, and I started making a sandwich, of course. And he came running back in with like 7 dudes, like the whole band, Alisana. Singer was like probably like 6'2" or 6'3", I think.
And why is the whole band convincingly that angry?
If 2 dudes got on our bus and we're out barbecuing, and our manager's like, "Hey, there's 2 guys on our fucking in our house,"
Okay,
we're all
enough.
rolling in there.
Okay,
we're gonna handle it. But rightfully so. And they're just like, "The fuck you doing?" I go, "Nothing, just making a sandwich." And he knocked the sandwich out of my hand, and I was like, "Come on now, buddy." And then they attacked me. So they came at me, like started bombing. Guys started swinging on me. Someone got me from behind. I had longer hair, pulled my hair, and me and Randy just annihilated them, all of them, 7 of them. Close quarters. That's my favorite place to fight.
Yeah,
Lots
no
of
one can
things
get
to
away
smash.
from you.
Lots of things to smash people on,
Right?
And size matters in close quarters.
Yeah, it does.
But Randy was throwing some wicked jabs. Like he's got speed.
Yeah.
So they got destroyed, and then I was like kind of looking for a stick to do some karate shit just for fun because I was bored.
How does a
already.
stick involve karate?
Just like
you're gonna spin it around
like nunchuck style.
Yeah.
Like,
that's intimidating.
Couldn't find it, but I found a bottle of vodka, so I smashed
So you
it.
spend that? Oh no, you
Said
smashed
something
it.
like, "Pennywise, motherfuckers, you're all dead." And they, for some reason, they didn't know who we were, or they didn't recognize us, which is really weird. But it was like emo times. They were kind of an emo band. It wasn't like Pennywise was on the Warped Tour. We were like, we hadn't been on the Warped Tour for like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So anyways, they ran out, and then, the story gets pretty good. So then they ran out, chased him out, and then I was like, hey, the guy said, you really want to do this? I was like, no, let's just get Randy and call it a night. Like, let's stop. So we go back in there. I remember the singer was sitting in the dining booth, like bleeding from the nose and kind of maybe a couple tears in his eyes, not to bag on him, but he got whooped. And Randy had lost his, because they're nice guys, you know. We were in the wrong. But Randy had lost his glasses. So now Randy, every time he's drunk, he takes his shirt off. He's always got like trunks on, screaming about his glasses, and shit starts re-escalating. And I don't like
this band.
Well, there was somebody in there. He's, oh, where's my fucking glasses? And he's thrashing around in the whole RV. They had bunks in the back. And I'm claustrophobic, so I don't like being like in tight quarters, you know. I freak out. And it kind of started feeling like, you know, people were poking their head in the door and shit. And I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, hey, stay the fuck out of here. And next thing I know, someone grabbed me by the belt loop and pulls me backwards, like hard, like strong. And I was like, you know, it was like 3 feet of stairs or something right there. And I grabbed on like the dinette and the couch, and I stopped it. And I smashed the hand loose, backed up, like cocked up, ready to go. It was a cop. And I was like, at that point, I was wasted. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to get him. And I just came in hot, swinging. But he had his taser out, and he got me first.
How's the taser feel when they really get it on you? Because I feel like I did it drunk a couple of times, but the cop never got me.
The barbed wire taser.
The one that goes in.
Yeah. So
that sucks.
He got me in the across the heart, which is against the law. Like, I think I looked it up recently, and they killed like 300 people last year with those things. If you go across your heart, you can fucking fuck up your electrical system, right? So, yeah, I was like mid swinging on him, and it froze me.
Yeah.
But I was kind of proud because like most people fall down. Like right when it stopped, I was like, motherfucker. And I tried to rip the barbed wires out of the barbs. And before I could get my hand to him, he got me again. Because there's like a little,
they can turn it up.
Break.
Yeah.
Well, it has to take a break for a second or it'll kill you. It can't be, so it's like, so before I could get him out, he got me again. And then the next time when it stopped, he's all, get on the ground. And I was like, fuck, you know, and he blasted me again. So he got me 3 times. I didn't go down, but then the third time I dropped to my knees. He's all, get on your stomach, blasted me again, fell on my stomach, blasted me again on my stomach. So 5.
Yeah.
Randy sat down, dude. He looked like a kid that was getting in trouble at school. He just sat down with his arms. I just remember looking up. He was done being belligerent. So, yeah, I got arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and taken to like fucking supermax jail in Colorado.
For how long?
I was out within 17 hours. They didn't press charges.
I saw you fixed your tattoo that you did. You had the one that remember when you just had a line up your arm that goes down your back or whatever?
Yeah.
You have that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then somebody made it stitches?
Yeah.
What was the who did the first tattoo? Was it you?
Yeah. I did this first one. Just ran it up there.
I mean, it looks cooler now, but man, was it really cool in a really stupid way when it was first done? Because you could tell that you just did that. Yeah.
Well, the reason I got the there's a couple reasons, but like people would just look at it. You know, you're in the grocery, like, and people look at like, did a child draw on you?
Yeah.
Like, did your kid draw that on you? Like, and they wouldn't have the balls to be like, is that a tattoo? Because they wouldn't think it would be a tattoo. So just to always look at confusion and then them refusing to ask what it was. So I got the stitches. Now it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. You know, they know it's tattoos.
No, you fixed it, really.
Yeah. Some people,
it's almost like it's on purpose now.
Some people think doctors always go, oh, where did you get that injury?
That's like, ridiculous.
That's a fucking tattoo. And they're like, oh, well, what about the scars? I'm like, yeah, I got some good ones, you know.
Some good tattoos.
Shit, yeah.
You don't have one of those machines anymore, do you?
It's right up the street. Anytime I'm come down here.
Because you own the tattoo shop, right?
Right there.
And the furniture store?
I don't own the furniture store. My partner Jeremy owns the furniture store. Okay. And we just carved out like a corner of the furniture store, put the tattoo shop, and we just 3rd Street, and then we opened another one in Redondo called Deep Seas with Andrea and Jeremy. It's
furniture stores,
tattoo shops.
Oh, okay.
2 of them.
What else do you own in Hermosa Beach?
Recording studio right down the street.
Oh, cool.
Called Screaming Leopard.
Wait, if I want to record a song, I could use your recording studio?
Yeah, totally.
Fuck.
Just got to find an engineer since we don't have one right now. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
An engineer, a guy that can make the music all go together when you play it.
Pro Tools, you know.
I know the guy.
She's doing in there.
The drummer of our old band. We were gonna play Ellis Mania this year, and the band was gonna get back together and do one set because ever since I got let go from Sirius, Christian doesn't hate me anymore because he's like, ha, you got fired. So now it's like even Stevens, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough. So because I don't know, he got let go, and we weren't cool when he got let go either. So it wasn't like I was saying sorry; it was more like fuck you too. So fair enough. But now we could get back together, and that's kind of
it's right down the street. You can walk to work.
I thought about trying to
The
make
standing room restaurant. That's no more. COVID kind of wiped that out. That was a pretty cool spot.
You had that?
Yeah, I was partners with this guy Lowell and his family, and we had like full bar, hold 200 people for shows. We played there a couple of times. Descendants, like we had some great gigs down there. Adolescents, blah blah blah, and it was kind of like a no rules. Like, you know, it's like if you're one of the owners, you can just grab a bottle of whiskey off the bar and just walk around drinking.
Mainly you
out of the bottle.
No one else is doing
Tequila.
that.
Well,
Right.
yeah, of course. It was
Do
fun.
are the police friends with you at this point
Well, like
around here?
you know, it's good when a kid that was like 12 years old, like tagging along with his big brother to like Pennywise backyard parties, is now the sergeant of Hermosa Beach.
Yes.
Good.
I'm not even sure if you're supposed to
I mean,
say that, but that's awesome.
Hey, yeah, everyone knows him. It's
So he's cool. He gets it.
yeah, like we got to the point like where the cops didn't want us obviously playing on the 4th of July because now it got to like 1,000, 2,000 people in the streets, and it was like mayhem. And
What about an organized one?
Well, the
Tickets.
thing was they would try to
Security.
they would try to always find out where it was. So sometimes the pigs would just call me or cops, sorry, would just call me and be like, "Hey, where is it tomorrow?" I'm like, "Come on, you know, I'm not telling you that, or it's not happening, whatever." But then I got to the point where I could just call certain guys and go, "Hey, look, give us like 7 songs." They're like, "Okay, we'll give you 7," and they would just line up out in the street or wherever it was. 7, like song number 6, it would just be like I'd turn around to get my beer. It'd just be like one more. The guy would just be standing behind the amp, and so you know we've had plenty of times where they just came and just cut the extension cord with like literally one extension cord, cut it with a knife. But we've like a lot of property damage and cars have been damaged because you know after the shit clears, like the Mercedes. Oh shit! Everyone was standing on that Mercedes. Not cool.
We're talking to you today about FitBod, which is the exact app that I need for my life and the way I'm living it. I'm not trying to go to the Olympics, and I'm not going to impress a bunch of people when I take my shirt off at the beach. I'm getting older. I'm feeling it. My back is creaky. My knee is creaky, and my kids are still little. I intend to run around with my kids as long as they'll run around with me. And God willing, I'd like to run around with my grandkids someday if I have those too. And that's where FitBod comes in. It figures out who you are, what you're doing, where you want to be, and how you are going to get there with personalized workouts on a schedule that works for you. It integrates perfectly easily with your smartphone, your smartwatch. If you have personal long-term fitness goals, FitBod will help get you there.
It's up to you. If you don't want to work out, then don't lie to yourself. But if you think that today's the day, or you already work out and you just want to maintain, just get an extra thing to help. They all help. Get as many things as you can that help you to stay in shape. And this is one of them. Build your fitness habit and become a better version of yourself with FitBod. 25% off your subscription to try out the app for free, everybody, when you sign up at fitbod.me/Ellis. That's 25% off your subscription when you sign up today at fitbod.me/Ellis.
Talking today about Sunday Lawn. Your lawn is your personal oasis. It's your own little slice of heaven on earth, but taking care of it can be hell on earth. That's where Sunday Lawn comes in. I went through the process of signing up for their services. Very straightforward, very easy, incredibly personalized. They're like
Wasn't hell on earth?
No.
Right.
Because
that would be terrible.
Closer to a little slice of heaven.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one you want.
Aerial technology helping me map out where do I live? What do I need? How are we going to get there? How can we make it
Wait, they're
easy?
flying over your house?
Satellite technology was involved.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Just for some bush.
Just to get a nice little Just get some grass on the field.
The things we do for some bush.
As they say, Sunday Lawn is great for a lot of reasons. One of my favorite reasons is because they focus on being non-toxic. You can have a great looking lawn, but the price you pay might be your kids and your dog are rolling around in a pile full of chemicals. Bad for the environment, bad for your kids, bad
Unless
for your
it was
dog.
like a spider that bit you and made you give superpowers.
There is an outside chance if you use competitors, you'll wind up with Marvel-esque superpowers.
Yep.
There's a better
Your
chance.
son could just die too, but you never
There's
know.
a better chance you'll wind up with cancer. Maybe play it safe and stick with Sunday Lawn. Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/Ellis at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Ellis.
Yeah, they don't like it. And I mean, us playing down here, is just not, they know it's going to be problematic. So we always try to do it secretly, because if you really had a Pennywise show down here, they're going to be not happy with the results.
So I know everyone's grown up and you're still doing stuff in this COVID and all that. How's that all working out for the band? Are you guys still looking to get back on the road?
We're out on the road. We obviously did the time like everybody else, a couple of years of bullshit, and that was bad.
How'd you survive that?
My bank account's empty. That's how.
What'd you do?
Everybody else. I've just worked on hot rods. I was building a 62 Chevy truck, so got a garage and just went out there and should have been like eating healthy and exercises, but instead I just started smoking weed and eating ice cream.
Whatever.
Could be Netflix, worse, right? So no, I mean, it was like we didn't have any income, and there was not really, you saw a lot of people jump into like Cameo or, doing podcasts or trying to figure out ways to like band guys, and I just kind of was like waited out. But we started playing some shows, coming back, and we're actually playing Orange County in March 4th, 5th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I think.
Yeah.
Our first 5 albums. So that's going to be brutally hard. We're trying to learn like 70 songs right now, 60 of, we probably don't play like at least like 50 of them.
Is it hard to get booked to stay busy, or is it back up and running?
Well, a bunch of stuff got canceled. We had a show in Orange County that was on sale and like got postponed for almost 2 years.
Okay.
But it went off. We did it, Punk in the Park. It was awesome. But this thing we're doing at Garden Grove Amphitheater, it's like, Orange County is a little bit different than LA. No masks, no vaccination cards, no proof of, a negative test. They've been kind of running wide open down there. So doing a show down there's no problem. But then you go to like, Ventura Theater or something, and they want all these, I don't know.
So if I did a live pay-per-view show, because I'm going to do a roller derby thing, and if I did the roller derby here and Pennywise played, there'd be a riot?
At your house here?
Nah.
Oh, like somewhere around here?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but like we're known for fights. It
might get rowdy.
Like there's a lot of dudes around here that grew up on Pennywise. Like I literally
Why does it make him so angry?
I know guys that were like at Pennywise shows when they were like 18, 20. There's videotape of them fighting in like full brawls, like bare knuckle match in the backyard while we're playing. Like literally. I remember playing like along to the fight, and those same guys like 25 years later are still around, brawling. They're ready to brawl.
Man, they've got to be sore.
Yeah, they're still like, pretty physically in shape and shit.
Wow.
They're just like, it's just that there's just some guys around here that are like down. So if we play anywhere around here, there's potential for there's a lot of people that don't get along in the South Bay. That's the thing. So this guy doesn't like this.
Pretty
guy.
friendly.
They got beef. This guy fucked this guy's girlfriend. This guy ripped this dude off for weed. Like, there's some gangster
and they all
shit.
meet
And
whenever you play.
They keep separate, and then they come together, and then shit goes down. I've been in a bunch of fights at our own shows here, literally.
Why? What are they? Were mad at you?
Well, because a couple dudes were beating up my cousin, and I had to get busy with that, And now we're all best friends. My cousin's dead, but yeah, rest in peace, Zerky. But it's just there's potential for disaster at a Pennywise show in the South Bay. And then when all of our friends come to Orange County, or Hollywood, there's potential. And that's why we're not allowed to play like a bunch of venues and shit.
But if you're Pennywise playing everywhere else, it's safe. Because I've been to Pennywise.
Yeah, pretty
Nobody
much.
killed anybody.
I mean, it's just your typical punk rock show.
Yeah.
But over here, we have so much passion. Like these kids grew up with us and they feel like part of the family. And then it's like they get special privileges, you know?
Got to keep up the tradition, maybe? Is that like,
Yeah,
oh,
you know,
cool, Pennywise is in town, time to slug it out?
just get drunk and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You know, run. Oh, there's that motherfucker. Let's do it.
How are you with drinking and everything?
I'm good at it.
Still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I got a gallon of rum in my truck right now bouncing around.
You're lying to me.
I'm not. It's really bouncing around back there. It's bothering me. It's hitting the fucking undercarriage.
Why do you have it there?
I didn't drink that. I only drank one the other night. So that leftover is just sitting there waiting.
Have you stop every now and then though, right?
I don't drink. I only kind of drink when there's something to do.
Yeah.
Now, like, I mean, we played King of the Hammers last weekend or the weekend before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was drink time. So
how are you with your, like, when you drink it, do you still push people through the window and shit?
It's weird. I was talking about it today. Like, I used to get drunk because I wanted to push people through the window, like I have an excuse.
Yeah.
And now I don't really want to push people through the window, but I want.
Why? What happened? Why
I
do you
don't
not
even
want to?
know. I guess you get old, right? I mean, I'm still like trying to do burnouts and shit and doing stupid shit every day.
That's not
all day
stupid.
long.
That makes sense.
But yeah, you know, like I guess you just that old fucking quotient that you get old. So I drink, but now the problem is I feel like I'm in control, like not getting really wasted, but I'm actually already there. And then when something arises, then I make a bad decision, you know?
So you're still making bad decisions.
Yeah, on the alcohol. For
At
sure.
this point, the band's got to find that to be pretty hard to deal with, right?
I try to keep it away from the band. So after show, if I'm like going to go out, I go away from them.
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. Yeah.
You know, I try not to do it on the bus anymore or be out of control on the bus because it's pretty torturous for them.
That's got to be
obviously.
crazy at this point for you to be out of control on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to realize that like being trapped on a fucking bus with me, like in small close quarters,
Yeah.
with nowhere to go,
Yeah.
and me like obliterated at like 5 a.m. with like knives out and peeing all over myself.
It's
and
ridiculous.
forcing people to drink urine. Yeah, like it couldn't have been fun.
No.
Randy, you know, like I said, Randy used to play in the sandbox. Like he was down for a certain amount of gameplay, but then if I pushed it too far, then he would be, you know, he would snap and then try to attack me and
Fair enough.
shit like that. Jim and Byron were like, no. Byron gets wasted and does his thing, dives, you know, off the table on me and, you know, breaks my glasses, and that's all good. But yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I've learned to respect other people's space a little better in my older age. Let's put it that way.
And Jim is sober.
No, he's not. He
He
always
just never hangs out with any of you.
no, he hangs out.
Because I'm with Jim right now. I feel like
he hangs out.
He does.
But he's got his moments. Like he's not good at drinking like
a lot.
20 days in a row like me.
Okay.
He's good for like one hard night, and then he needs like 2 days to recover. But then again, he's on the road singing, and that's the hard. Like, you know,
Yep.
my guitar is there. I plug it in. Like
Right.
his voice, if it goes.
Yep.
And drinking and smoking ain't good, and cocaine ain't good for that. So,
Smart.
you know, he's got to kind of like be responsible.
Yeah.
Somewhat, right? But he's good for a couple nights, and then you know, it's kind of like whatever. He doesn't like try to kibosh the partying.
Okay.
Like he flows with it easily. It's just like, hey, I'm not wasted tonight, so I'm not on your level. You know how it is when someone's like me is completely fucked up and you're sober. You're like, I got to get away from this guy right now. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's like he's going to remove himself from that situation, and me running around the corkscrew trying to stab Randy. You know, it's not.
Do you get sick of being on the bus, or do you miss being on the
I
bus?
love it all.
You love being on there.
I love being on tour. It's great. I mean, I love being at home, but I like it's like a playground. It's like a vacation, right? So
Yeah.
it's like there's no rules, there's no parents, there's no like you make your own fucking rules. And I like getting a brand new hotel room, destroying it. You know,
That was my next question. Do you still destroy hotel rooms?
yeah. I'm not like going around breaking shit on purpose. I just destroy them accidentally, like you said, like a big elephant loose in there. You know,
Right. You bump into stuff when you're drunk.
vomiting on shit and peeing in the corner.
How's the
Stuff in toilet.
hangover at this age?
It doesn't affect me. It's
Really?
great.
Are you
Yeah.
fucking lying?
No, it's crazy. Like I could drink like 2 liters of rum. I'll feel shitty, but like I'm just used to it. So I'm used to like going to bed at like 7 and having to be up in the lobby at 8. And I'm fucking hammered at 7. And I just like get up like a robot and just go to the lobby and get in the van and go to the airport and get on the plane. And
do you have an alarm? What's your alarm to get you up?
I use my phone alarm. Sometimes that doesn't work, but I'm pretty prompt. I try to be on time because Byron's like kind of a Nazi about being on time. If you're like 3 minutes late, he's like, well, I've been waiting out here in the van. So
he lets you have it.
Yeah, and then if he's late, you don't say anything.
If he's what?
If he's late, you don't say a word.
Okay.
And, I'm sorry, I was just, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we don't care.
But he's known for being angry at you for being late.
Yeah, he runs a tight ship.
Does he run?
He doesn't think he does, but yeah, he runs shit. He's
for you guys all the travel. He's in charge.
No, fuck no. But he's just like he's the watchdog.
Okay, and you have a tour manager, correct?
Yeah.
His life's got to be pretty difficult, right?
It is. We've been using NoFX tour manager lately, and he did something. I'm like, all right, that's 2 demerits, bro. One more, and you're getting treatment. Hey, I don't play that shit, Fletcher. I've been doing this a long time, and he got like super shit. So I'm just joking. He's like, no, seriously, I'll fucking leave.
Yeah,
I'll leave because he knows what I'm capable of.
Right.
I'm like, Kent, relax. But people don't like tour managing us, but we're pretty we're like a family though. Like we treat everybody as equals, and people like being around us. It's just like it can get to the point of where you're kind of like, uh-oh, what do we do now? So there's a lot of humor in it, but there's also a lot of grief.
Yeah.
So,
and it's usually you.
Usually, yeah. But I mean, Byron could get wasted, and Jim could be like, I'm not going to come until, right now, or I'm going to take a different flight, or, Randy can be weird about Randy's a fucking germaphobe. So he's like always got problems with any kind of surfaces. He always finds pubic hair in his bed and black mold.
It's you though, right?
No, I wish it was. But what I do to Randy is he goes every day. We go to a hotel. He goes to his room and he fucking does an inspection and he goes back and gets a new room. So I just sit in the lobby because I don't give a fuck. Like everyone's rushing off to their rooms. I'll sit there. I don't care. And within 10 minutes, he comes down like clockwork and he's like, hey, I found my bed unmade and there was some people. And I'm like, he's lying, ma'am. He's lying. He does this every day. And he's like, shut the fuck up. He gets really mad about that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And then he also lies about the internet. So he pays for internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi. At the hotel, it's like $10-15 at these fucking places. And he comes down every morning and tells them the Wi-Fi didn't work. So he gets his money back. So I just sit there and go, hey, ma'am, he's lying. Sir, he's lying. He does this every hotel. His internet worked fine. I was fucking emailing him. He's lying to get that $15 back. You shut the fuck up. Every time. It's great. I love torturing Randy. He's my favorite torture victim.
Those ones don't seem as bad as some of the other things that you've done. Like, name some of the things that you think you've done to your bandmates when you're drunk that you're like, maybe that was going too far.
Well, I don't really do shit to Byron and Jim. Like they're
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even in the days, like those guys were kind of like, whatever, just basic shit. But Randy, Jason for sure, fuck with them. I mean, involving like urine. That's not a good one.
Yeah, because you do that to people, and then the poo finger as well. What was all that
Poo
about?
finger, yeah, poo.
You tried to put that on Drew, right? Dr.
Yeah.
Drew Pensky?
I didn't try. If I tried, I would have got him.
But you brought it up.
With it. Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Pooper City. Him and Adam. I think we're going to have a reunion podcast. That'll be good, right? I should get completely obliterated and just torture him.
Wait, they said they're going to, and they're going to have you on there?
I told them, I said, hey, we should do Adam's podcast, a little reunion night. And Dr. Drew's like, I'm going to work on that. I said him a joke. Because don't they have that barbecue, that Adam Carolla barbecue thing or something?
I don't know.
And I looked it up, and it was like $300 for like a ticket. It's like a backyard. It might have been Super Bowl. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But I was like, hey, Drew. I talk to him regularly. We're buddies now.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to go to that barbecue and buy my tickets. I was just fucking around. He's like, oh, dude, we can get you for free. I'm just joking.
One time I asked him if we could do a skit where him and I are in a bathtub and we fart, or I fart or something. And he was like, yeah, we could do that. And then I called it because it was on the show. And then I called him back after the show and I was like, hey, man, I'm really sorry that I called you to say that. He was like, I didn't think it was that bad of an idea. He's a madman.
No, he is. He's pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. He's classic. He's cool.
So I feel like at one point you guys were kind of pissed at each other, but it seems like you've smoothed it out. Maybe you've toned it down or something, but
we still have our fights,
but it's not as bad as it was because it was a bit rocky, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jim left for a few years, and it was probably overdue. It's like, I don't know, you need a little perspective sometime on both sides of the fence, right? So it was just, there was a lot of partying and a lot of people not respecting other people's space, whether it was me, Randy, Byron, or Jim, and it just kind of got to a point where it was like, fuck this.
When you talk about partying, I feel like I saw a couple of things. Like one time they gave us a boat cruise, and we were all on a boat cruise, and there was the band could play, and everybody was playing. What is the coolest thing that Pennywise has got you into? Like you're at an event where you're like, no fucking way.
That was pretty cool. You're talking about Australia Warped?
Yeah.
Yeah, we paid for that boat, buddy.
What?
Yeah, that was my idea. The first year we did it, so I always wanted to do the Sex Pistols thing, like get on a boat and get busted by the cops, like just be terrorizing, out on a boat. So we did it the first year of the Warped Tour. We didn't get in trouble, but it was pretty crazy. And then the next year, the big one that you were on, I was like, hey, Kevin and Steve, let's do this. We'll pay for the boat. Vans paid for the food, and Kevin paid for the booze.
Yeah.
And we went out there. We had 150 people on that boat.
Yeah.
And we did get pulled over by the cops because remember, we started the fucking pit, and there was like the captain and some waiters and shit. And there was no security. They had no fucking idea. Yeah. And we started pitting, and people were diving off the roof into the fucking through the roof onto the floor stage and shit. And bartenders were getting their asses kicked. And sure enough, cops came and we got rolled. That was a good night. It was like a dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember people fighting in there. I do remember police but they weren't near me.
Steve Van Dorn was, I knocked him on his ass. He was like on the ground on his back laughing. I mean, how awesome is that guy?
Yeah. He is awesome, right?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They were fucking flipping over tables. It was raging.
Yeah, I agree. He is one of the cooler dudes.
Oh, dude, he is.
Wasn't Infectious Grooves on that boat, which means Tony Trujillo? Not Tony.
Robert.
Yeah, the Metallica guy.
Yeah.
He was on the boat.
I can't remember if he was.
I feel like I played.
Maybe
I played.
We were all like jumping up there and playing different shit. And
yeah,
he was up there, and we were.
There was skateboarder Sergi was up there.
Trujillo's fucking awesome. I know him pretty like whatever. We're buddies. But I went to see. I was at like Shepherd Ferry's one of his art shows for Alan Losi. Like when everyone did the skate decks, Alan Losi, awesome.
Yep.
And then someone's like, "Hey, Trujillo's kids band's playing down here in East LA," and I was like, "Fuck, let's roll." Pull up, and I was like, "This isn't a club. It was a fucking backyard party in East Los," and those things are happening now like crazy. Tons of like raging backyard parties, like 300, 400, 500 people, and then there's these Dead City punks are doing these things like under the freeways. You got to check that shit out. It's fucking insane. Like, I mean, thousands of people throwing illegal shows. It's fucking epic. But anyways, I roll in this backyard party and there's like 200 people. Trujillo in there in the pit with a bunch of 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Raging. Fucking drinking beer in the fucking mosh pit. And then
That's awesome.
I didn't say anything and I was hanging. And then after the show, he's fucking carrying his kid's gig gear out to the carrying a Marshall cabinet. I'm like, "Hey, you need some help?" He's like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" Like, so down there, just one of us. You'd never think like, "That's the dude in Metallica,"
right?
And no one even bothers him like at those shows. He's just rolling. He's just fucking chill, and his whole, Chloe, the whole family is fucking awesome, and Ty's. So
I've seen him around here a couple of times.
Yeah, he's
kicking it.
Yep, good
that's
people.
cool. So gigs, nobody's mad. You act like you drink a lot, but I feel like you're not. You're nowhere near as like hard to deal with.
Well,
you just seem way more mellow.
Come on out. Come on out for a couple.
I'll come out as long as it's not around here. Fuck that.
Come to the shows in Orange County, yeah. Whatever, 5 album shows, Orange County, Garden Grove, 4th, 5th, 11th, 10th, 12th, whatever it is.
Are you doing when Jim organizes the thing down the street?
Beach Life?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
You're not a part of any of that?
No, he just does his solo thing down there and hangs out. It's pretty cool. I went to it last year. It was cool.
All right. Do you ever do any solo shit or other people's stuff?
No.
Would you, or you don't do that?
I mean, I did TNT. You need to play that. You'll like it. Like AC/DC.
You do it.
I tried. Well, I always sang it as a joke, but I like made it like a real version, Pennywise version.
Yeah.
And I tried to get the band to come down and record it, and they're like, "Oh, busy." I'm like, "Fuck, man, let's put this out before we go to Australia." And they, no one showed up, so I just did everything except the drums, and it's pretty funny. I need to release that shit.
You have released it?
No, I haven't. It's just
I want to
sitting on
hear
my
that.
phone. I'll play it for you when we're done.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But I mean, I have a ton of songs, and I think about doing a solo record. My voice sucks, so it'll probably be horrible. I could find someone else to sing. I don't know.
It's good to see you're staying positive about the whole thing.
Everybody wants to do solo records. So it seemed like they never really go that well, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on why you do it. Like if you're doing it because you think you're about to be the next big solo star, then maybe that's the wrong reason.
But if you just do it for fun, yeah.
Right?
I mean, Jim's record's pretty good. If he's doing an acoustic jam, so
and everybody's cool with that.
Everyone likes it. Yeah, I mean, it's like obviously Pennywise is a priority, so we support him.
What advice would you give to a young like guy that's an angry guy in a punk band?
So
is it confusing? Because did you want to be successful? Did you have?
Nah.
Right.
I mean, literally to this day, it's like an excuse to go get drunk with my friends and eat good food now. Like now, if I'm like going on tour, I just go, okay, that club's cool, and that restaurant is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna go here and get in there, and I'm gonna drink like 3 martinis and eat some steak, and then I'm gonna get drunk, and the next day. Like, I'm going to rent a boat in Sydney Harbor and go over to fucking that place on the bay, the little fish house. And, I have like these
You got
plans.
your little things figured out.
Yeah, I know like where I'm going, what I'm doing. So like, for me, it's just like, of course, I want to put on a good show for the fans, but it's like, it's just a vacation. It's a playground. Right. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the whole time when I, came up, like started Pennywise or whatever, like with these guys, it was just about trying to have fun, I mean, literally, I would buy kegs of beer to make sure the party would happen. Like I would be like, "Hey, can we party? I'll buy a keg or 2 of beer," and then we just spread the word. And like we paid to play basically until we got paid, which took a long time. So it's like fuck, it's just about having fun. And I mean, making good music is a byproduct of having fun. I guess we got lucky,
and just having a couple of businesses around here to
they don't really make
to pay
money.
for kegs.
Yeah, to pay for kegs. They don't make money, but they're fun. I mean, they make a little bit of money, but studio doesn't make money. We just bands go in there and record. We try to take care of locals. But advice for like someone coming up. I mean, for me, it's always been about doing what you believe in, right? And playing the music you want to play. I've seen like thousands of people around here that are ripping. I mean, I suck on the guitar. You know that.
I didn't think that.
I can play Pennywise songs good,
but
I don't know Stairway to Heaven. I don't know a whole Metallica song. I don't know shit. I can play like Minor Threat though, but like, it's like all these people, they learn how to play all this shit and they get really good, and then they don't really have a style. So my thing was I turned, I got my guitar, I learned how to play like a TSOL song and a Black Flag song, and I was like, okay, that goes like that. Oh, okay, I'll make my own.
Yeah,
and I did it, and like. Within a week, we were having band practice, and horrible. But we were writing our own songs, and I think like too many people spend too much time trying to be somebody else or be like somebody else.
Yep.
So like my style is actually kind of original. My playing is like it's influenced by everybody. It's not that difficult, but like I have a sound that's mine, right? And if you listen to Eddie Van Halen, he's got a sound. Dimebag Darrell, those guys like just started doing their own thing. So do your own thing, and then play music that you like. Don't be like, oh, pop punk's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Machine Gun Kelly. I was a rapper because that was cool, but now I'm pop punk. Like, it's like, not to bag on him, but to bag on him. Sorry. I won't go too deep because he's friends with people I know. So
yeah, he's friends with people I know
not
too.
To attack him at the.
Look, man, if you want to be successful, like you already said, to be successful. If you want to be successful, then great. Go about it any way you want. Your main goal is to be successful. Your main goal is to play in that band and live your life in that band, travel in the world. Like he could give a fuck what music he brings you to brings to the table for you, just as long as you all want it. And he's a huge star.
Right.
That's what I think.
I think, but so like my my thing wasn't to be a star or be popular or make a bunch of money. It was to play music that I liked first and foremost, and to have fun and make sure I'm like the guy that wants all my friends to have fun. You know, like I make sure,
Right.
like, you know, when I went out to whatever King of Hammers the other night, like I bought like 30 sausages, 30 hot dogs, you know, a bunch of alcohol, and I just bring it. It's for everybody. I don't know who's going to be there. It's just like I want everyone to have fun. And sure enough, we're all cooking Italian sausages and getting fucking hammered
Right.
by the end of the night. Like I want to make sure there's a good party besides just Pennywise. You know, and that's why I like 100 people on stage, because it's a party, right?
Yeah.
And I love being up there with all my friends, pouring beer down my throat or kicking me or fucking pushing me off the stage. It's fun,
Yeah.
for me. But so like that was just being successful was just a buy. Like I was like, wow, if we could ever go on tour, like get in a van and go to like Mexico or Arizona, that would be cool. And that wound up being my life. So, you know, do play the music you like, because so many people chase that what's popular right now. Remember all the emo fucking bands? Like people were just getting blasted like overnight with tattoos, like up to their fucking neck, and playing everyone was in an emo band around here. And I'm like, dude, you didn't have any tattoos a month ago. And, well, fuck yeah, boy. And it's like, oh, now emo's dead and you're done. And now you have tattoos and you're not even like you're a graphic artist over here, whatever. There's 100 of those guys.
Yeah.
I know. So it's like, do what you believe in. And if you believe in it and you like it, you're always going to have fun, whether you're playing to 20 people in a bar or 20,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have that and it's like in your heart, which sounds kind of cheesy.
It doesn't to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like
If I don't love things, I can't be good at them.
If you
and I don't really enjoy it.
Right. I'm lucky enough to be like have a job now that like I love. Like it's literally, like I said, a playground where I don't have to say yes to anything else. Like when people are like, "Oh, do this," I'm like, "Fuck no." I was doing a photo shoot today, right?
Yeah.
And I felt bad about it later because I'm an asshole. And I say,
why?
Well, he was like, I was doing the interview and then I had to do the photo shoot. He's all, "Go shoot you out here on the patio." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So and it's now, "All right, you ready to take some shots?" He's all, "Can you grab a guitar?" And I'm like, "What?" He's all, "Can you grab one of those guitars?" And I go, "No, He goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "That's for fucking like dumb people." Like I make our bass player hold his bass before interviews and photo shoots, and then I make fun of him. I go, "Only lames like get interviewed and do photo shoots with their guitars." I mean, like for the most part, like I know some cool people have done it, but like it's like your typical, like, "I'm the guitar player, I'm going to sit here with the guitar."
Yeah.
No, like a drummer. You see those drummers in photos
They get
where they have
sticks.
their sticks or something. Like it's just no, it doesn't. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, my motorcycle's like been sitting on my sidewalk for 12 years, right? Rusty piece of shit. And he's all, "Let me get some shots by the bike." And that's a no-no. But like, I'm like, all right. So I already made him mad. So I felt kind of bad. He's like, "Can I get some shots by the bike?" I was like, okay. And I go down and I'm like standing there on the sidewalk. And he backs up. He's all, takes a couple of photos. And then he's all, "Go ahead and hop on." And I go, "What the fuck are you talking?" I go, "No, that's not happening." He goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "That's not happening, dude." I go, "Yeah, I think you've been to too many Motley Crue photo shoots or something." I'm like, and then this other interview was like, "Take your shirt off." And I was like, "Yeah, let me get my chick out here with a G-string." I'm like, "We don't take pictures sitting on motorcycles." He's like, "Oh," he was an older guy. And I felt like mean after that, after he left. I think he was mad at me.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like, my point is, I'm not going to do shit I don't want to do to make other people happy, because I've got a job that we own this business and we control it, all four of us, and we don't have to take shit from anybody now.
Yeah.
Until no one comes to our shows, and then I have to go get a real job.
And then sit on a motorcycle
Get
for a photo.
Do a podcast.
I kind of I kind of back the not doing what people tell you to do thing. Like I feel like some people just get ahead of themselves when it's like, "Go ahead and do this now and go ahead and do that." I'm like, but this is my my livelihood. This is my image.
Well, that was serious. You were told what to do all the time.
A little bit. Yeah.
Now, I mean, you had pretty good reign over there, but like, you couldn't cross the line. Like people have been trying to get to do a podcast for like 10 years or however long they've existed.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of stories,
Yeah.
You heard a couple, but like, I'm like, okay, and who's like, so-and-so's going to sponsor? I'm like, no, they're not, because I'm going to say shit that they're not going to want to be associated with.
Right.
Like, no one wants to talk about fucking flinging poo. Like if I'm sponsored by Liquid Death doing a podcast, they don't. Well, actually, I don't know.
They sponsor me. I talk about flinging poo. Well, I don't fling it, but you're on.
Well, that was like just an example. It can get worse, right?
Yeah. Look, there's somebody for everybody these days. So I feel like you're only speaking to a specific group of people.
The people that
and
I
those
spoke
people
to
don't
like,
mind,
no.
And then you have a sponsor that also doesn't mind how Fletcher is,
about,
and
like,
they are
Dingo?
available.
Like
They're
Dingo.
out there.
I was talking to Monster because we're
not a company.
We're sponsored by Monster, but they
Okay, well then what are you talking about? Because
No.
if you're on the most corporate company there is,
not
it's
for
not
a podcast,
that hot, right?
Not for a podcast.
Okay.
They're cool with our music and what we do as a band. Totally
Okay.
cool, and they're fucking awesome.
Yep.
But like, what they got Dingo doing a podcast, right?
Yeah, but he does he doesn't do what he does a sports podcast.
Right. So I was like, yeah, like they're like, yeah, well, we'll try it out. Maybe you could go on with Dingo. And I was like, you realize there's no cussing on his show, right? And
Oh, there isn't.
I couldn't find any.
Are you I don't
pretty
think.
sure.
I think
Okay.
you can.
Okay. I think he can, but I don't think he does.
Maybe they beep it
It was
out.
just that one. I watched like 2 episodes, but like, I was like, yeah, see, that looks like you guys are controlling what's going on there. I go, I can't. Like,
Wow.
I just said, hey, look, I'm going to do this, and you're going to watch the first episode of my pod, or listen to it, and you're going to like, we can't do this. I was going to have like, people on my shit that were different, like bad people,
Well,
drug dealers, and fucking.
you can still have that. It's just you wouldn't want to tell Monster about it. That's all.
Well, but if they're sponsoring it and they listen to it,
Could you do a podcast where they don't sponsor it?
Mm-hmm. Do my own.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I mean, but that's for you. This is your gig. Like I'm not trying to be a podcast guy.
Right, because you've got
That
a gig.
Mike's doing one
You've
right
got a
now.
great gig.
Yeah, and I mean, anyone can do a podcast. Like, I mean, but you do it well. This is your.
I was going to
This
say
is
that
your niche.
anyone can do it,
But
but
you
if
can't
you
do it
don't
good.
take it serious,
Yeah.
it's no one's going to.
Good. Let me rephrase that. Not anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, but not everyone can do it good. And you've seen hundreds of these people try to do podcasts, and it's just like,
And them asking you to do it while being in a band, that's a lot of work. Like I think people think that, hey man, you just jump on a microphone and chit chat for a few minutes.
No.
Like it's your whole life.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go on tour. You've got a guest on Thursday.
right.
And if you don't have a guest on Thursday, then what kind of
You're
fucking
doing it
podcast are you
over the
doing?
phone. Yeah, like it's
It's got to be like people
Right.
book. You got to. If
I'll
you
write
got
a
to
book one of these days instead.
I don't do it either. Have you? Well, you never read our book?
No, I don't read.
I read LT's the football player, and I didn't even watch football, but he talked about smoking crack and playing football. So he kept having stories about smoking crack, so I kept reading it. So I read that whole thing, and I read like almost all my book one time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last book I read was Monster Cody Scott about some.
You just read a book.
12-year-old Crip, or he was a blood, and that was like 20 years ago.
Right, that's
I'm
a book.
actually reading a book right now. It's really strange. I haven't read a book for like probably. Well, I think I read Hot Zone about
What's that?
Ebola virus or something like
Oh,
15 years ago.
Wow, that's entertaining.
But Chester Bennington's wife, Samantha, you know her?
No,
So she wrote a book, and I wouldn't think like anything of this book. Like I would just, she gave it to me. She's cool. Like I've known her for a long time. Chester was cool. And it was just sitting there. And I swear to God, I haven't read a book. I mean, there's a million books I'm supposed to read. I just started reading her book.
is it good?
And it actually is good. And it's crazy because I kind of like use the analogy, don't judge a book by its cover, because I see her and I have this image of her.
Mhm.
Read the book. It's like an autobiography, and she had a fucking rough life. And it's like, not like I'm got way more respect for her and stuff because I read her book. I'm like halfway through, which is crazy for me to even pick up a fucking book,
Yeah.
let alone read it. But like, it's a life story. And I'm like, holy shit, she got fucking, thrown to the wolves from like birth. So it's pretty cool. Maybe I should start reading books. Maybe I'll read yours.
It's not bad. Third one didn't do very well, but whatever. It's
I'm just waiting for the movie deals, bro. After
it shows me that everybody goes through it in some kind of way.
Yeah.
You think you're, whenever I tell a story of some unfortunate time, there's somebody that reaches out and goes, "Man, that fucking happened to me, but this and that, and usually worse." So to me, it's like you think you're out there.
You never know anybody's story, right? So
Yeah.
that's when you look,
Especially
at
the
somebody-
painful. Like,
Right.
who's just going to walk up and share that?
right? And that's the thing. Like, you can't really fucking judge people until you know walk a mile in their
That's
shoes.
right.
And that's the thing about South Bay. We're talking about kids becoming criminals and convicts. I'm talking kids that lived on the fucking beach, over here, like surfing every day, went to like these, great schools and had great friends that wind up like, robbing drug dealers and doing 15 years in prison. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, and how did that happen? Like, why? Like, everyone's got a story. There's some
Yep.
shit lurking down there, and it starts in the home, right?
Yep.
Family upbringing. What's going on in your house? Like, there's always something responsible for people like me. Like, my parents were both alkies, hardcore. My mom's sober now. I got put her in rehab at 71. She's now 86 and kicking ass, been sober for that
Awesome.
long.
Right.
She likes her Norcos though, but only 4 a day.
Her what?
Norcos.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
for casual.
She used to be called Kinshasa Karen. I got to think of a
That's
good
pretty
Nor-
laid back.
Yeah, no. I mean, she's got bad knees. She's in fucking pain. Trust me. Norco's in like a full Xanny bar for bedtime.
Chilling.
Pulling it. Just pulling it. You would never even know she's buzzed.
It's casual.
But yeah, I mean, we had my dad was a drinker, my mom was a drinker, and our whole life was like that. Mom and dad drunk, fighting every night. My dad was a complete fucking maniac. That's where I learned it. Like, obviously, my dad would come home drunk and break everything, pull out the guns, like call the fucking pigs and just like load up all the guns.
There
Tried
it
to
is.
shoot me a couple times. And, so what did I learn how to do? Get drunk and break shit.
Be violent.
Yeah, be violent. And my brother the same. So by the time we were 14 or even younger, I think I got brought home at like 7 by the cops for breaking the neighbor's window. But like, we were already going. We were primed. My dad was at the bar till 2, 5, 6 nights a week. My mom was drunk by 6.
Yeah.
We were just out of control. And, people were like, oh, why are you such an asshole? Well, my dad taught me how to be a good one.
Right.
It's hard to get away from that too. Like, you got to go to fucking therapy, and I don't. So
Wait, you won't do that?
I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
but
just heard that tone. You think it's fucking stupid?
No, it's awesome.
Oh, you have gone
I went one time when my brother
one
died.
time.
I went like 3 times. The chick said, "You're good."
Get the fuck
I
out
swear
of
to
here.
God. I just told her what my program was. She's like, "Yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. Just keep doing what you're doing," which was obviously wrong because I was just getting drunk and breaking shit and driving like an asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, no, therapy's good. Like, I'd have to go deep to get all those secrets out.
So,
But
do
then,
it.
Then I'd probably get sober and be boring and shit. Be like you. Smoking weed and kicking people, taking all my aggression out of my friends and choking and
I don't choke my
I'm
friends.
fucking with you. I know you don't.
I don't punch anybody. Oh man, that's so fucked up. You make me feel like I regret getting healthier.
No, it's good.
No, I'm
dude.
very happy to
just
be where I'm
jealous. I'm just jealous. I've been, trying to get healthy. It's not working that good, but
I got a guy if you want to talk to him.
what about?
Your problems.
Oh, I'll hold off on that for a minute.
All right.
I'll
Well,
just write a book.
It doesn't
Get
seem
it
like
out.
you're doing that bad, honestly. It seems like you're doing pretty good.
I'm all right. I mean, yeah, no, I'm having fun, dude. I mean, life, like the whole talking about that interview today. It's like, what's the legacy of Pennywise? Like, fuck, man, live your life. Like, do your thing, because all these fuckers that work in a cubicle or a job they hate till they're 65 and retire and then get hit by a bus on day 3. Like, we live, and that's like our whole motto is like, get out there and follow your dreams and don't fucking take no for an answer. And so, I mean, for me, I'm just like, I could be dead tomorrow.
That's how I feel too.
I get a cancer diagnosis tomorrow, not like to offend my wife, Rosemary, or my family or whatever, my loved ones. Like, I'd be like, cool, it's been a good run. I'm tired. Like, is this going to be painful? Like,
Right.
literally, like, if like I'm at the point where I don't want to die or anything. I'm like, I'm broken. Everything hurts. You know that. So it's kind of like, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I'd be cool with it.
What does that mean? You don't like existing?
No, I love existing. I'm scared to die. I don't want to die, but like, it's like I've done a lot, dude. I'm tired. I've had a good run. So if it was over, I'd be happy, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I'm going to abuse myself to the point of death or anything.
Right.
I'm actually mellowed out.
Are you in a lot of pain?
Fucking massive. Head to toe, 24 hours a day. Right
From
now.
What? Where?
Everywhere. Every inch of my body. I don't know what the fuck. They can't figure it out. My ankles, my knees, my back right now burning, my shoulders burning, headache, just over here rotting away.
Do you think it's because you drink copious amounts of alcohol all the time?
I don't drink all the time.
Does it feel good? It
I'll
must
go
feel
on
good to get drunk because then the pain would go away.
So when I get drunk, the pain's gone.
Yeah.
And when I wake up with a hangover, I have a reason to feel, I know what it is. I'm like, oh, I feel like shit. I have a hangover. So yeah, the pain, I don't know what it is, dude. It's like all my joints are blown out. But obviously, my knees, my back, I got bulge disc, neck, stenosis. Like I got all the injuries from surfing and skating and all the shit and diving off stages and being an idiot. Car accidents. So
I mean, there is stem cells, but that's a lot. You sound like you've got a lot of injuries, a lot of injections. You did because
let me know how it goes because he hasn't given me an update yet on how it went that last session.
Well, the reason he went is because of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I
talked to you about it.
Yeah, I know it works.
How are your knees?
It's good.
Did it work on the knees though?
The only thing that's bad about my knees is I fucking tore them again doing stuff. Mm-hmm. So they don't you don't get the injections and they become supersonic.
Yeah,
they're still normal knees. So if I was to get all the injections and then stop being a jerk off,
it'd be good.
It'd be solid because the shoulder was aching constantly, and I got the shoulder. How long ago did I get shoulder shots, Katie?
The PRP?
Nah, the stem cells.
The stem cell. It's like 6 years ago, I think.
I remember.
Still going.
To Texas, right?
Nah, Texas. I went to Texas and got stem cells in my.
I get the shoulders just so bad, dude.
Go to Colombia.
I can't sleep.
More stem cells.
Yeah, I know. I can get hooked up with those guys too from Danny.
Good.
But that's my knee. Both of my knees need to be replaced. I'm 10 years. They told me 10 years ago to get this one done, so it won't bend past there. That's it. Yeah. So getting out of the chair, I look like a cripple. Like I have to find shit to push off because I can't get my knee under itself. Yeah. So that's that's the worst thing. I just need to get it done. But if I get it done, I'm gonna have to take like 6-8 months off. Then the band can't tour. And I couldn't do it in COVID times because they shut down.
I already told you this. It's not 6 to 8 months.
You have to get out though and run
you can't do.
On
you might not be able to go jogging for 6 to 8 months, but you can be on stage.
Yeah, hobbling around.
You'd be on stage in a month.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I got to really look into it.
Yeah,
because
they're good these days too.
Yeah.
Less pain, more faster healing. They get better every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was never a painkiller guy, but now it's like wake up, pain med.
Yeah, get that shit taken care of, dude. It's not worth it. I don't want to hear it. If you don't go, then I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
they have the answers. Yeah. You have insurance. Pennywise is insured, right?
Yeah, I only pay $900 a month for fucking insurance.
It's time to fucking go see the doctor. Get that shit cut off. I seen an old guy at the gym one time, a long time ago, had the full knee replacement. So that means cut off your legs and then put on the new fucking things. And he was fucking, and he was old. Like I'm talking, when you just look like balls. He was fucking old. And he was doing squats at the gym. And he said he had the knee replacement like a month ago.
This plumber who surfs like pipeline and shit came by my house. And I'm like, somehow I got on the 70s, both of them. And I'm like, are you good? He's all, fuck yeah. And he was like 70. 65 or something.
What are we doing? What are we doing, Fletcher?
Yeah, being a bitch.
All right. Just in case, because I didn't say it at the start, that is Fletcher from Pennywise. If you haven't heard of him, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but one of the greater men in music, and and to be around him when he's had a couple of drinks, I recommend it. But I also recommend that don't stay too long.
Don't stay too long.
It's a treat, but then you got to go.
One other thing to mention, Punk Rock Museum.
Yeah.
Heard about it?
No.
So Fat Mike idea, make a museum like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but punk rock.
Okay.
Punk rock, skateboarding, crossover corner with like Slayer and fucking, the bands Corrosion of Conformity, Suicidal, Metallica, right? Kind of like our whole lifestyle, Vegas. So it's like this punk rock collective. There's probably like 200 people and bands involved at this point, like investors and contributors, artifacts. So that's what's going on. Like opening, hopefully, I don't know, 6 months.
A giant ass museum.
12,000 square foot of like all the shit. Like you'll be able to go like, I don't know, shit like Darby Crash's social security card, Sid Vicious's belt, Sid Vicious's like fucking Buzzcocks buttons,
Right.
Nancy Spungins, like just cool shit that like these collectors have, and we're got all these people like, you know, the coolest art. Think about punk rock is like, you know, it's got the coolest punk rock, and skateboarding has the coolest art of anything. Like, you know, street art. I mean, like flyers. It was all do it yourself, right? So all the scenes you got, like, you know, New York Ramones, London Sex Pistols, New York hardcore, DC, California. So it's going to be pretty badass. So I'm just giving it a shout out.
Awesome.
Been working on that for like a year, so it should be pretty cool.
See, you do tons of stuff. All right, fucker. Thanks for coming down here, and also thanks for letting me live in Hermosa Beach. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime you need any protection or anything while your jiu-jitsu won't, you know, get you out, let me call. I got a couple weapons in the closet. And
My jiu-jitsu. Fucking awesome.
Yee-hee. Welcome to
If
Hermosa
you want
Beach.
more Jason Ellis show, sign up for their Patreon at patreon.com/EllisMate for a 2-hour show every Tuesday and Wednesday. To watch full episodes of the Jason Ellis show, subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/The Jason Ellis Show. And don't forget to follow the crew on Instagram at Wolfmate, at Tullywood, at Kevin Kraft, at Underwear Wolf, and at The Jason Ellis